Yeah, students, good morning, everyone. Yesterday we had one more bio class for the batch 2 students. But I think KNMS JE students wouldn't join in that class, right? So yesterday actually I have completed that remaining competition. Competition, I told you, some additional information are there. There is some exceptional cases are there in the competition. So yesterday I completed that. Anyways, for you, I will give you a fast recap. Other NEET students, you can also listen to this. It will be a revision for you. Okay. So, JE students, please listen. See, competition, I told you, actually, this competition, both the species will be like affected or harmed, right? So, if there is any limited resources or depleting resources in a particular habitat, what happens? There will be competition between the closely related species when they are competing for the same resource. Okay. So, mostly competition will be an interspecific process where the fitness of one species will be significantly lower in presence of another species, right? So this is the usual thing when that is where competition will occur. Now, in addition to this, competition will occur in some other cases in different ways. Okay, so let me tell you what are those different ways. So the first type of competition is the interference competition. In this interference competition, what will happen? The resources, whether they are limited or even they are unlimited, there occurs some problem, that is interference. Interference in the sense some new species is going to interfere here, and due to the interfering presence of one species, the feeding efficiency of the other species may be reduced. Okay, so that is called as interference competition. So this competition occurs under limited resources, usually under limited resources, but it will occur even under unlimited resources. But even under unlimited resources, usually under unlimited resources, there will be no competition, right? But here, even under unlimited resources, what happens? The feeding efficiency of one species, the feeding efficiency, the feeding efficiency of one species may be reduced. May be reduced in the sense the feeding efficiency of one species will be affected. Okay, may be reduced due to interfering presence of other species. Due to interfering presence of other species. The one which is interfering, no, that will be of a dominating organism. So because of this interfering presence of other species, the feeding efficiency of one species may be reduced. Okay, so this is what we call it as interference competition. Now the second exceptional case under this competition is resource partitioning. So the second one is resource partitioning. Resource partitioning, in the sense, here what they are going to do, they are going to divide the resource among themselves, and both the species will exist cooperatively in a particular habitat. Okay, so the species facing competition, no, sometimes they may evolve some mechanism to promote coexistence rather than exclusion. Exclusion means here one species will not be excluded, or the feeding efficiency of one species will not be reduced. Thereby, they will partition the resource and they will coexist together in the particular environment. So here what happened? The organisms, the species evolve some mechanism. The species evolve some mechanisms so that both the species coexist. Coexist means they will exist together. Okay, coexist rather than exclusion. rather than one of the species excluding from a particular environment. Here in resource partitioning, both the species will coexist together. How it will occur? How this resource partitioning, how the coexistence will occur? Okay. So here how it will occur, because like they will avoid the competition. The species will avoid the competition. By avoiding the competition, either by choosing either by choosing different timings, either by choosing different timings different timings of feeding. If one species is going and taking their food in the morning time, the other species will not go and interfere in that particular timing. It will choose a different timing and it will take its food, so that the resources will be equally shared by the by both the species, and there will be coexistence between them. Okay. Or else what they can do, they can undergo some behavioral differences in feeding mechanism. Okay, so they will undergo some behavioral differences in the feeding pattern or feeding mechanism. Hence, they will not fight for the same resource. The organisms will not fight for the same resource. Okay. No, they will not change their food habits, ma. They will not change their food habits. See, if two closely related species, herbivorous organism is there in a particular habitat, okay, how can they change their feeding habits? That is food habit, behavioral differences in the sense like some sort of, that is while taking the food, how they are taking the food, the ingestion method. Okay. So based on some differences will be in the feeding pattern, not in the differences in the food habit. They cannot change in the food habit. Just in the feeding pattern, they will have some differences. That's it. Okay. Now the third one is said to be competitive release. Now in competitive release, what will happen? When a competitive superior species is removed from a particular habitat, then the species which is present in a small population, no, that will be free to reproduce and it can expand its distribution range to a larger area, and that is called as competitive release. Okay. In a particular habitat, or in a particular environment, the competitively superior species, the competitively superior means the one which is dominating. Okay. Among the competing species, the one which is dominating or superior, no, that will be removed. The competitive superior species is removed, and the inferior one, the inferior species, how can you say this particular species is the inferior species? Based on the population. Okay. The population will be restricted to a small geographical area. The population is restricted to small geographical area, no, that particular species is considered as an inferior species. So after removing the superior species, the inferior species will expand its population. The inferior species will expand its population distribution. Distribution means based on the geographical area. The population distribution will be expanded dramatically, and from the small geographical area, now it will expand its population to a larger area. That is what we call it as competitive release. Okay. So these are the three different types of competition, that is based on the resources available, or based on the species present in the environment, or based on how they are going to share the resources among themselves. So based on these concepts, we can divide, you can have some unexceptional cases like interference competition, resource partitioning, and the third one is the competitive release. Now, one more concept is there which we call it as Gauss competition exclusion principle. So this is a very, very important concept for your board exam. Sure, in your board exam, you will get one question from this concept. It is called as competition exclusion principle. The name of the principle is competition exclusion principle, and it was given by the person called as Gauss. So it was called as Gauss competition exclusion principle. So what is this principle stating? It states that when two closely related species are competing for the same resource, when two closely related species, not unrelated species here, closely related species are competing for the same resource, are competing for the same resource which is said to be a limited resource. Okay, same resource. Now here what happens, one species, the one of the species, no, which is said to be superior, it will not allow the inferior species. So ultimately what happens, they cannot, both the species cannot coexist independently. Both the species cannot coexist independently, and so what happens, the competitively inferior species, the competitively inferior one, right, inferior one, no, it will move away from that particular habitat. It will be eventually eliminated. Eliminated means it will completely shift its habitat to a new habitat because of like starvation, because it will not have enough food, because as the superior species will not allow the inferior species to have its resource, okay, to use the resource in the habitat. So ultimately what happens, the inferior species will be eliminated from the particular environment, and it will move to a new habitat. So this will happen mostly when there is limited resource. This competition exclusion principle occurs only if there is limited resource. Okay, if there is unlimited resource, then there is a no problem. Even after the superior species, they use their resource, in addition to that unlimited resources will be present. Okay, so the inferior species, they can use the resources without having any limitation, right? But when unlimited resources are present, it will be these these limited resources are present, the superior species will use away, or it will use up all the limited resources, and so the inferior resources will be eliminated from the environment, and it will be like totally switching on to a new habitat or a new environment. Okay, that's all. So these are the three exceptional cases you should know in this competition. So please students, whenever they are asking you what is the type of interaction in the competition, you should go for minus minus, because in nature that will happen. Okay, in nature the competition will happen between two closely related species for the same resource, limited resource or depleting resource, and there occurs like both the species will not be like successfully satisfied by the resource, and so both the species will be affected or harmed, and so you will have this minus minus. Okay, in other cases the usual thing will differ, that depends upon the type of species competing for the resource or the amount of resource that is present. Okay, based on that the thing will vary. Examples, yeah, examples, no, for example I will tell you, uh, in Galapagos Islands, initially tortoises were present. In Galapagos Islands, initially tortoises were found to be present, but after the introduction of goat, okay, after the introduction of goat, which is said to be comparatively a superior species than tortoise. Okay, so this goat is a superior species than tortoise. When these goats were introduced in that particular island, within a decade, within 10 years, all the tortoises became extinct. Okay, so that was extinction of tortoises, extinction of tortoise in that particular island. Okay, in the same island. So why it happened? Because the goat which has introduced, it is said to be like a competitively superior species, and tortoise here is said to be a competitively inferior species. So the superior species know it has made the inferior species to become extinct. As it is superior, it will use away the resource of food, and the tortoises which were inferior, they would have undergone starvation, and so in one particular stage there occurs extinction of tortoise. Okay, so this is what happens in the usual case, right? Superior species will not allow the inferior species to use the resource, but this may differ under different cases. Suppose if I am telling you interference competition is actually happened in this case Galapagos Island. Because of this, the feeding efficiency of one species may be reduced due to interfering presence of other species. That is what happened. So due to the interference of goat, the feeding efficiency of tortoise has been reduced. But suppose if resource partitioning would have happened there, then the extinction would not have occurred, because in resource partitioning they will share the resource, and the species, both the species will coexist together in a particular environment. Okay, and the last one what I told you is competitive release. Again, competitive release also not happened there, because the competitively superior species is not removed. Goat is not removed from that particular habitat, it has been introduced. Okay, so all these are different cases based on the same example. Okay, you can say cross competition exclusion principle has been applied in this example, because when one particular species or superior species is there, the inferior species has been eliminated from the environment, right? Tortoises has been completely got extinct. So this can be given as an example of exclusion principle. Yes, I will show you all the slides, students, from the first one. I will be there from like till 9 o'clock. Okay. So after 9 o'clock, I will move on to another class. So sir will join. You wrote two tests in human health and disease. Okay. The previously written test I discussed in your class. That is in 2 days before I discussed. So human health and disease, one paper sir discussed already. One more paper is left. He will come and discuss that paper. Okay. So tomorrow we can start the biodiversity. Now I will give you just a introduction in this biodiversity chapter, and tomorrow we can start the chapter in detail. Okay, so this is the first slide. JE students, I am waiting for you to copy this slides, because other students, they have copied yesterday itself. Okay, so it is for you, so please make use of the time. Second one, this is second one. This is third slide. This is fourth one. Yeah, in this example, goat is benefited. Yeah, it is plus. That's what I told you. In usual case competition, it will be minus minus, but under this exceptional cases, it may vary here. You can say goat is benefited and tortoise is got totally, is not zero, minus. Okay, so based on the situation, or based on the type of competition, the thing will vary. But when they are asking you what will be the type of interaction in competition in general, unless they are not mentioning you if it is a exclusion principle or any other case, you have to say minus minus. Okay, so minus minus is the usual case that will happen in competition. All these resource partitioning, interference competition, competitive release, these cases will occur in a very rare event. No, ma, today I think so. Like your physics class will happen most probably, because afternoon I have classes for foundation. So I think mostly I will not be getting the classes. Hope physics classes will be there for you. Yes, students, JE students, have you all copied all the 4 slides? Shall we switch on to the new concept? JE students, you have to respond. I am waiting for you. Yeah, fine. Yes. So now the next chapter under ecology is biodiversity. Okay. In ecology, totally you have 4 chapters, but 2 chapters have been deleted. Remaining 2 chapters are there. One is organism and population, what we completed now. And one more chapter that is there under ecology for yours in your syllabus is the biodiversity and its conservation. Okay, fine. So first of all, we'll see what is the definition of biodiversity. How can you define biodiversity? So already you have studied something about biodiversity in your first chapter of your 11th syllabus, that is in the living world. One small paragraph you would have studied about biodiversity. So far, how many species have been identified, and some area are there like where the biodiversity has not at all determined, like Silent Valley in Kerala. Yes, do you remember you have studied all these things in living world chapter? Okay, now find what is biodiversity. Biodiversity, if you divide this word bio plus diversity, you know diversity, unity in diversity. India is a land of unity in diversity, right? Why you are calling India as a land of unity in diversity? Because different religion people, different state, different language following people, different caste, all these, like diversity means always it represents the diversification, that is the varieties. Okay, the different varieties. Yes, so that is what we call it as diversity. But here you are using the one more word is added, prefix, that is called as bio. You know what is bio? Bio means always it represents living organisms. Then what is biodiversity? The different varieties of living organisms is called as biodiversity. But in definition, you cannot say like the difference in living organism. You have to define it properly. So biodiversity means the diversity. You can define the biodiversity as diversity or heterogeneity. This word is very, very important. For defining biodiversity, this is the key word. Hetero means different. Geneti means different genetic or species. Under taxonomical classification, you have differences in each and every organism, right? That is what mentioned as heterogeneity. The diversity or heterogeneity at all levels of biological organization. At all levels of biological organization. This is what we call it as biodiversity. Okay. So what do you mean by biological organization? All levels of biological organization. If you're not understanding, you can write it. All levels of biological organization means starting from macromolecules of the cells. You know what are the macromolecules of the cells, right? You have studied biomolecules, right? Under biomolecules, you differentiated into biomicromolecules and biomacromolecules. So macromolecules are the one which have molecular weight greater than 800 Dalton. Okay. So starting from macromolecules of the cells to the biomass. That is, we are saying from the primitive level of my organisms to the higher level of organisms, you can consider all the different levels of biological organization under this biodiversity. Okay, so that is what biodiversity means. Biodiversity means diversity or heterogeneity at all levels of biological organization, which means from macromolecules of the cells to the biomass. Okay, and the term biodiversity was popularized by, it is not coined by. Okay, so please refer properly. The term biodiversity was popularized by, this is a very important neat question. In ecology, I told you, the term ecology was coined by Ernest Haeckel. Similarly, here the term biodiversity was popularized by a famous sociologist, and that person was Edward Wilson. He was Edward Wilson. He was the person who popularized this term biodiversity. Okay, fine. So this is the introduction part, and after this introduction, the second topic is levels of biodiversity. This levels of biodiversity I will discuss tomorrow. I will just tell you what are the 3 different levels of biodiversity we are going to discuss. Okay. So when talking about the levels of biodiversity, step by step, that is 3 important levels of biodiversity are there. The first level is what we call it as genetic level, that is genetic biodiversity, which we call them as genetic diversity. And the second level is called as species level, that is species diversity. And the third level is called as ecological diversity. These are the three important levels of biodiversity we are going to discuss. Okay, so this is the introduction part. You just copy this fifth slide and sixth slide. Tomorrow we can discuss about each of these levels of biodiversity in detail. Okay. So if you are done with the fifth and sixth slide, please let me know. I will give stop share. Sir will come and join. Okay. Yes, have you all copied the fifth one, ma'am? Yeah. So this is the sixth slide. This chapter will be interesting. It will not be very vague like the previous chapter, organism and population. Okay, students, I will give stop share. Sir will join. Okay. So, yeah, we'll discuss about this detail tomorrow. Thank you. You just continue the session.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me now? Okay. So in last class, we have solved the question till yeah question number 24 we have solved. We have to solve from question number 25. So if you look in the question, what is common between mumps, cholera, and tuberculosis (TB)? So we have to find the common, whether they are communicable disease or endemic or Nagarjuna. Option C is wrong. See, communicable disease. Communicable disease can be two types: contagious and non-contagious. Contagious and non-contagious. Okay, contagious will spread through direct contact, and non-contagious will spread through causative agent. Okay, so it cannot be the. So we can say that mumps and cholera and TB is a contagious disease. Option A will be the right. Deepika, C option is wrong. It's not a viral disease. Mumps, cholera is caused by bacteria. TB is caused by bacteria. Mumps is caused by virus. Okay. So two is bacteria, one is virus. So we cannot say that all are virus disease. And bacterial disease also we cannot say because one is from virus. So these two option is negligible. Endemic disease. Endemic means we can say that infection is endemic in a when the population that infection is constantly maintained to a baseline, we can say. Okay, or a disease that is restricted to one particular area or location or a region, that is endemic. Coronavirus is pandemic, this is endemic. So option communicable disease will be the common. Okay, what about 26th question? Malt, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue constitute the dash percent of the lymphoid tissue in human body. It's very direct question. 50%. 50% is the answer. (27) Can please write the question number and write the answer so that I am seeing test. So which one is the last? I'm not able to find. So please write the question number and answer. Yeah, 27 A. And entamoeba histolytica infection occurs through contaminated food and water. But dropping no sweat. It's very easy question. The vectors of for break bone fever. Break bone fever. Let us learn about break bone fever. Break bone fever is another name of dengue fever. Okay, it is a mosquito-borne disease which is in the location of tropical region. Okay, this also called as this caused by flavirovirus. Okay, and transmitted through Aedes aegypti. So Aedes, option B will be the right answer. 28B, 28D, Culex. No, no, no. 28B. It is caused by Aedes aegypti. Harish and Gautam, please check your answer. Dengue fever or breakbone fever. This is caused by Aedes aegypti. Okay. Culex is filariasis. Culex filariasis. Okay. Anaphylaxis, malaria. None of this. Not a. 29. Which is not a T lymphocyte? If you see the T lymphocyte, T lymphocyte, it has suppressor, which is suppressor T cells. Okay. Then cytotoxic cells, we can also say CT cells. The helper cells is T cells. Repressor cell is not a T cells. Okay. Actually, if you let me tell you, the suppressor cells, they have some quality. It is very important to know also that there are different kinds of T cells. To talk about the suppressor cells, which will take care of the body cells, and the body cells should not be killed. Okay, it will take care, and it will also suppress the killer cells if the killer cells increases. Okay, killer cell is not given in the option. One more type of T cell is the killer cell. If you talk about the cytotoxic cell, it is also called as CD8 plus T cells. Okay, which is most important in AIDS and AIDS, CD4 and CD8. These are the cell receptor. These cytotoxic cells will directly attack the cancer cells. They can create spores by secreting a chemical enzyme, which is called as perforins. Perforins. It will kill only non-self cells. Non-self cells. Okay, like pathogen, and if it can also attack own cells, but that own cell should be damaged or it is not functioning properly, that cell may be killed by cytotoxic cells. And helper cell is that it is the first cell to proliferate and becomes into helper T cells. Okay, from the T cells, the various type, which is the first cell, And the helper T cells will also help the B cells or macrophage cells, and so that they can establish a communication between T cells. Okay, there's one chemical is secreted by this, which is called as lymphokines. Okay, so the answer is a repressor cell. Short-lived immunity acquired from mother to fetus across placenta or through mother's milk. 30B. Yeah, it is a passive immunity. Which immunoglobulin is transferred here from placenta to fetus? Which immunoglobulin is transferred? Which one? IgA. IgA. No. Lakshmi, you're right. IgG. IgG. Okay. Western blot test is done to confirm the. It's most easy question in the test. AIDS. Malaria. No. Anemia is the low count of HB. Filaria is Culex, filariasis. Okay, anemia is something related. So AIDS, where you do ELISA, and then ELISA will show antibody and antigen reaction, and then to confirm we use Western blot. Western blot to confirm it. T lymphocytes originate from bone marrow. Blood cancer is, the questions are very easy. Blood cancer is leukemia. Sarcoma, if you talk, sarcoma is a malignant tumor of connective tissue. Connective tissue or non-epithelial tissue. Okay. Carcinoma in epithelial cell. In epithelial cell, we can say it is a cancer that begins in the tissue and that lines the inner and outer surface of the body. That is, in that thing is called as carcinoma. And D, melanoma. Melanoma is a skin cancer. Skin cancer, which is cancer can be taking place in a pigment producing cell, which is known as melanocyte. That's why the name melanoma came. AIDS is transmitted by AIDS is transmitted by all of this. Blood transfusion is possible, placental transfusion is possible. But if you see the recent research in 2009, they have published from Japan or South Korea, that one lady, she has published a paper that we can prevent the placental transfusion of AIDS. Like if the baby is developing in a mother, that can be prevented. But how far it's successful, it's under the trial. But still, in this question, according to NET will mark, it is possible, and sexual intercourse. So all of this will be the answer. Immune response to first encounter with antigen is called as (35) 35D, primary immune response. Yes. After primary immune response, when antibody is met, then there will be a memory. Okay, and these are called secondary and clonal selection. So when there is a huge number, one will be kept as a backup, and then other cells are made to clone, and then it will be sent to the injured area or the infection area. Okay, so that is a primary immune response. Which of the following is not a waterborne disease? (36D). Yeah, cholera is waterborne disease. Amoebiasis is waterborne disease. Asthma is not a waterborne disease. Okay, so this will be the answer. All of this cannot. Which one of the following is primary lymphoid organ? Lymphoid nodule is secondary. Lymph node is secondary. Spleen is secondary. So option B will be the answer, which is primary lymphoid organ. Common intestinal bacterium which is symbiotic association with humans. It's audible now. Is it audible to everyone? Okay, okay. 38 Escherichia coli, and it is also a bacteria which is used in biotechnology field. Okay, Clostridium is highly dangerous. Salmonella can cause typhoid. Entamoeba coli, no. Escherichia coli, there is no organism in there. Okay, so this will be the answer. This helps in water reabsorption, and production of vitamin B12. Why? Because vitamin B12 is found only in non-vegetarian or flesh flesh of other animal. So think about the vegetarian, the person who is not eating this non-veg thing, then how can they get vitamin B12? It will be injustice by God. So the E. coli bacteria has been given. The E. coli bacteria is given to secrete vitamin B12. Okay, that is, if the deficiency of vitamin B12 happens, then it causes pernicious anemia. Blood group antigen present on, this is RBC, and on the RBC there is a cell surface, and these are antigen, and because of this antigen, whether antigen A or B or AB, okay, this antigen, based on this we can say it is a blood grouping, blood A, blood B, or blood type AB. So it is present on cell surface, on the cell surface. Which of the following is involved in defense mechanism of the body? Defense mechanism of the body, 40. Here you should know that antibody, one more thing, antibody is found in blood plasma. Okay, that can be also asked, so you should know it. Antibody in blood plasma and antigen on the cell surface. 40. Which of the following is involved in the defense mechanism of the body? Neutrophils is taking place. Neutrophils will, option B, will heal the damage tissue and resolve infection. Option C is macrophages. Macrophages is formed in response to infection. Response to infection or accumulating damaged, or we can say a dead cells. Okay, and it will engulf and it will destroy. Option D. And what is lymphocyte? It is one of the main type of immune cells which is made in the bone marrow and found in the blood lymph. Okay, so all of this will be the answer. When body cannot differentiate between its own and foreign matter, it is immunodeficiency. No, immunodeficiency means the deficiency of a reduced number of immune cells. Okay, active immunity and passive immunity is not possible, so autoimmunity. Okay, so whenever the immune cells or body cannot differentiate the own cell and the foreign matter, then surely that it will be, for example, Hashimoto disease, that immune cells will attack the thyroid gland. Oh, this is autoimmune disease. Okay, exaggerated response of the immune system to which certain antigen is called immune system, certain antigen is called allergy. Secondary immune response, no. Suppression, no. Primary response, we have seen in the last question also. So allergy will be the. Diphtheria is caused by Corynebacteria diphtheriae, Clostridium botulinum or Clostridium tetani, Bordetella petrosis, Treponema pallidum. So Corynebacterium diphtheriae, which comes with it. 42A, 43. Five more minutes is there. We'll complete some 5 questions. Memory cell. Memory cells are cells responsible for immunologic memory. Okay, cell responsible for memory in the brain, no. And here they are talking about the immune cells. Okay, antigen, no. Cells of cerebrum, yes. Cells of cerebrum, neuron cells can help in the memory, but here they are talking about immunogenic, so it is this. The D will be the answer. Ringworm in human is caused by. It is not by virus, nematode, or bacteria. It is by fungi. Which of the following is a viral disease? Hydrophobia is a viral disease which is caused by ribovirus. Polio is caused by poliovirus or polyama virus. Measles is caused by rubiola virus. So all of this will be the answer. Pick up a set of bacterial disease. Smallpox is caused by variola virus. Influenza is caused by influenza or flavivirus. Tetanus is caused by Clostridium tetani. Meningitis is caused by Streptococcus pneumoniae. Measles is caused by Rubella virus. Syphilis is caused by bacteria Treponema pallidum. Tetanus is caused by Clostridium tetani, typhoid, Salmonella typhi, tuberculosis, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So this is the bacterium. All are bacterial disease. So 47 B. Tara, no. B is wrong answer. Option D is the right answer for 47. 48. Toxic substance hemozoin is released related to the high fever and chill is related during the following disease. Pneumonia. It is a pneumolysine toxin which is released by Streptococcus pneumoniae. Pneumolysine toxin in pneumonia. In pneumonia, the Streptococcus pneumoniae will release this kind of toxin which causes pneumonia. Malaria, that is hemozoin. Malaria will here hemozoin. See, diphtheria is diphtheria toxin. Dengue, which is a single-stranded flavirovirus. So the answer will be malaria. 48B. 49. 48C. Gautam. Check your answer. For first time, Kevin Fidel has answered malaria. Thank you. 49. Which of the following is an example of Junois disease of animal that is transmitted to man? Trachoma. Trachoma is caused by chlamydia. Chlamydia trachomatis. Trachomatis. Okay, which is bacteria here. This is bacteria. Mycobacterium is caused by Mycobacterium leprae. It is also bacteria. C. Measles, rubella virus, rhabdovirus. So zoonosis disease which transfer from animal to human. Zoonosis means animal to human. It will be rabies. Okay. What is the term which is called as disease transfer from human to human? What is the term used for transfer of disease from human to human? Communicable. How can it be communicable? No, no. One term is used. For example, Juno is for animal to man. Okay, it's very important to know that it starts with A N anthroponosis. Okay, remember this. Anthroponosis means disease transfer from human to human. Anthro means man. Anthro means man. Ponosis means to disease. The disease which transfer from human to human. Okay. I hope you got it. Yeah. Okay. Till 50 question will solve, and then 40 questions will solve in another Wednesday class. So 50 passive immunity is achieved by the injection of vaccine in antigen antibody histamine. 50 question of antibodies. 50A. Raksha, no. Antibodies. Kevin Fidel is right. Okay. So we'll complete the class here. We'll see from 51 to 90 in another Wednesday class. Thank you.